Welcome back to Therapy Designs. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kelly, and this channel is all about teaching you how to create print-on-demand designs that sell. And be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video because I have another 5 bonus niches for you. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how I created this design right here. This is another very popular trending summer style niche, and that is easy peasy lemon squeezy with sort of the lemon design. Lemons are very popular in the summer. It's lemonade season. And so if you haven't gotten on that, there is a good niche that has tons of different sub niches that you can work on, but I am going to show you how to create this design right here, as it is a very popular style and pretty easy to do. So to start with, I'm going to go ahead and just jump right over to Canva. And on Canva's home page, I'm going to start by just creating a blank page. So we're going to go to custom size here at the top right. And I usually design in 4500 by 5400 pixels. That is the size I use for all of my t-shirt designs. Obviously, if you're designing for a different product, you'll have different dimensions. But I do find that this is pretty flexible and something that you can use for a lot of different products. Obviously, if you're selling on Amazon merch like I do, you make one design and you can take that one design and, put it across a lot of different products and just kind of resize it to fit. So anyways, we are going to start here. Now, this is one of those rare designs that I'm not actually optimizing for black. It is a summer design. It's light, it's airy. So it is one that I tend to kind of optimize more for the lighter color shirts. So I'm not going to change my background to black in this instance, though I usually do. We're going to start by sort of making that brush stroke frame. Now, I've showed how to do this in another video, but if you didn't see this one, I'm going to go over it again. It's super easy to get that brush stroke design, and that is super popular and trending right now. There are a lot of AI like platforms that will do kind of that stuff for you. I know Playground AI has a bunch of brushstroke designs that you can use. So I do have a link to Playground under this video too, and it is something that I use every so often. But for this one, it's easy enough to do brushstrokes on your own. So I'm going to go up to Elements and search Elements. I'm just going to go with brushstroke. Pretty easy. And we can go graphics, we can go photos, doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to go with the graphics. And what you're looking for is just simple brush strokes. And what we can do is actually overlap them and sort of create our own style. So for example, here would be a brush stroke. I would make it vertical and oops, there we go. And I would just go ahead and stretch it out along the page. So something like that. Now what I could do if I want to obviously make sure everything lines up good would be to pull up some rulers and guides. So let's do that. To pull up your rulers and guides, you'll hit Shift and R on your keyboard. So Shift and R will pull up your rulers and guides. And from there, what we could do, another sale, would be to pull up some guides. So I'm going to put a center line. And then I'm going to go kind of centered in the center line, right? And then one more, again, kind of centered in the center line. So now I've got my equal compartments, and I would make a brush stroke that would kind of go in between all of these, and I want them to be about the same height. So if I take a line, kind of put one line at the top and sort of one line at the bottom, I want my brush strokes to fit each in here. So there, I've got one brush stroke there. I can keep going. Here's another brush stroke. Now this one, is that transparent? No. Okay, good. I can again make it vertical and stretch it out. So there's another brush stroke, and I can keep going. I like this one. Now this one's a little bit curved. Now when it comes to the curved ones, I don't necessarily want it to be curved, but that's okay because I can overlap other brush strokes on top of it to kind of get whatever shape I want. What you're doing with the brush strokes is essentially just creating a frame that you're going to then go ahead and put your mask in. So with the brush strokes, you can create whatever kind of frame you want. So not super fond of the curviness of that. So I'll see if I can keep finding some other ones that might work. Here's an orange one here. That might work better to get at least that straight edge. So I could kind of come up here, pull it down, and get sort of a straighter edge with that one there. And then again, if I want to kind of fill in that too, I can overlap as many of these as I want to try to get so sort of a brush stroke look there. And then I just need one more. Now again, I could just copy and paste and put another one right here, but typically I want them to look different and unique. I don't want them to be all the exact same shape. If you did want them to be all the exact same shape, then it would be easy. Just pick one and put it across all four. And there's plenty of frames that you can find on Creative Fabrica for this too. So there's lots of different brushstroke frames you can have on Creative Fabrica. Other things, of course, that you can do would be just to find a brushstroke design on Creative Fabrica and just use that as a frame and put your own mask over it. So lots of different ways that you can do this. But once you've created your own frame, then you can use it again and again and again. So let's say I'm making this as my frame. I can now use this frame over and over and over again for all different brushstroke designs. And so I could do something like that. And I'm just playing. There's no right or wrong or anything like that. And you can get whatever edges that you want. Oops, I move that out of the way. That's okay. I mean, so that is pretty good right there. Might fill out this yellow one a little bit because I'm not quite loving the edges on that. But otherwise, we're pretty good. So anyways, I played for a little bit and I overlapped a bunch of different brush strokes to kind of get the shapes that I have here. And so this would then be my frame. And so once I've got this, I can title it brushstroke frame. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit save, download. It's a transparent background. It's a PNG. And I hit download. And so now this is the frame that I would use then for all of my brushstroke designs. And I can make as many brushstroke designs as I want going forward by just using this one frame. And it's a unique frame that nobody else will have because I made it myself. And so pretty straightforward. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and choose some masks to go in the frame. Now I am creating a lemon design. And this is one that, again, I might use some AI for because AI works really good for some of those patterns. So what I can do here would be to go to my elements. I'm going to clear out the brush strokes. I'm going to go down to where it says AI image generator under elements. Click generate your own. I can change this to a portrait layout, by the way, so it's a little bit more vertical. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put lemon pattern and hit generate images. And I'm just going to do this several times until I have 4 lemon patterns that I like. Ideally, I'm going with the, obviously yellows. Obviously, there's going to be some greens and then the blues and whites. And so it's come up with actually a lot of cool ones here, and they're all sort of different. So I like a lot of them. So like this one looks really cool. I could definitely see myself liking this one. And so what I do would be to do something like this, and you just crop it like that. And I can see how it's going to line up too by going to transparency, bringing the transparency down so that I can see sort of my brush stroke, and I can see how I line it up. So I can have it be like half the lemons on it, or I can have it kind of be a little bit less where you don't see a full lemon. That's a little bit more leafy. I can put just the big lemons right in the middle. I don't necessarily like the big lemons right in the middle. I kind of like this way a little bit because I get some of that lemon. And then again, I just crop it down so it's just covering where I want. And I'll get rid of the transparency. So that would be like one mask. So I did like that one. And this one was kind of cool too. So it's got more of that white look to it. And again, I'll blow that up, kind of line it up where I think it might look best, and then crop it down. And if I crop right down to those rulers and guides, I know I'm covering my whole thing. So now I've got 2 different lemon patterns. I'm thinking of doing it again, maybe with some blue. Lemon pattern, let's say with blue. See what happens. You can obviously play with the words and the prompts, and you'll always get different things no matter what prompts you put in. So I'm just looking for some sort of similar ones that I think look good. Here's another lemon pattern. This one does have some of that blue, which I like, and I want to kind of put again. Perfect. There's some blue. Maybe put Italian lemon pattern with blue and white. So I can be as specific as I want. Try again. I'm just looking for one more. I want them to all look like they go together, but at the same rate, I want them to all be different, not necessarily all exactly the same. And so, ooh, I really like these two a lot. Let's see about this one. Because this one's got that blue, but then it's got a lot of the white in there as well. Gives it that awesome, yeah, Italian style. So something like that. There. Okay, so I like all of those. So I'm going to go ahead and choose these 4. They all look good together. I've got sort of the alternating blues and the alternating greens. I'm really liking the way that this looks. Now let's see, this one's got the white and that one's got the white and this one's got sort of the off-white and the blue. What I might do then would actually be move this one here and maybe move this one here. That way I've got more of the colored ones on the outside. So actually I probably like that layout the best. And I'm going to do one more quick view with my transparency just to make sure that I'm covering everything up. So I'm always just going to really quickly make sure I've got everything covered up really well. Perfect. Don't want any spots that are missing or not covered. Looks good. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and title this, let's say, Lemon Mask. Piece of cake. And we're going to share, download. It's a PNG. This one does not need to be a transparent background because it's a mask, so I can just download this as is. And so that was really the hard part of the design. And now that that's done, it's really quick and easy. What I'm going to do is jump over to Photopea just to do the clipping mask. It only takes a second. It's totally free. You don't have to log in if you've never used it before. Super easy to follow along. Just type photopea.com into your browser. You will get this. And from here, super easy. You hit the middle button that says Open from Computer. It's going to pull up your downloads. You're going to start with your frame. So your brushstroke frame, hit Open. And here are my frames. And so it should look just like this. From here, you'll go up to the top where it says File. 3 spaces down, it says Open in Place. That will pull up your downloads again. You're going to select your mask. Go ahead and hit Open. It's going to put your mask right on top. So now you've only got 2 layers. You can see right here, you've got your lemon mask in your background, which is your frame. Your lemon mask is the one on top, and it's the one highlighted. Assuming all those things are true, you go to the top where it says Layer. About halfway down, it says Clipping Mask. You click on that, and it's going to automatically create your clipping mask. And there you go. See how easy that was? And then from there, we go File, halfway down, Export as a PNG. It takes a second, but it will go ahead and pull up a box for you. And then you don't really have to do anything. You can put Brushstroke Lemon or retitle it if you want to. Otherwise, it's a PNG. It's still 4500 by 5400 pixels, and you just hit save. And so it really should be that quick, that easy, and that free. I know some people have had problems with this if they use a Mac computer. So I am on Windows, and I do use Chrome as my browser. So if you're having problems, that may be why. I don't really know anything about Macs. I don't use them. But I know at least for me, just using my regular, PC, I have no problems with this. I never have. So, assuming you're using similar stuff to what I am, it should be super quick and easy. And that's it. So now we're going to go back over to Canva, back to our lemon page here. I'm going to go ahead, hit add a page. By the way, I'm going to get rid of my rulers and guides here because now they're just kind of in the way. Drag those off. And what we're going to do is go over to the left-hand side where it says uploads. I'm going to hit upload files. And then from here, we're just going to upload what we just downloaded from Photopea, which is my brushstroke lemon design. And I can click on that. And there it is. So that is super easy. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Ta-da! And there is your brushstroke design. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Now I do have some good gaps in between here. I suppose I could have brought these all closer together if I wanted to. So right now, as I'm dragging these down, these ones probably could have been a little bit closer together. And it would be easy enough, by the way, for me to do that. But I do need to make sure that they don't overlap, right? So I can get pretty close as long as I'm not totally overlapping. So something like that in the future. You know, you want it to get close, but because we're putting the mask on them, we have to make sure that there's at least one thin line that can go in between them. And so anyways, this is what I got. Nothing would stop me, by the way, from going ahead, hitting Control D, literally lining them up, cropping one this way, cropping this one this way, and then literally taking this and moving it closer so that they're literally like right on top of each other there. Boom. And so I could bring them a little bit closer like that, and that would be fine too. And I can group that. Move it down the page, make sure it's centered. That's cool. Now we're going to go ahead and put some text. And of course, you can do the text however you want. So at the top, I'm going to put easy peasy. That's going to go across the top there. I'm just pulling that out. I'm just going to hit Control and D. Control D will just duplicate it, and then I'm just going to write lemon squeezy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Pull that out, shrink that down. Then we just pick some fonts. Again, you can do any kind of font you want. These are usually scripty fonts. And for me, I went ahead and I went with one that was called actually Christmas Scripty. Where's my Christmas Scripty? Christmas Scripty regular. That one it. That's it. Easy peasy. Christmas Scripty regular. There it is. Lemon squeezy. And so, piece of cake. Shrink that down. I'll pull it out. And so this was just sort of a fun font here. So scripty but cute. I can have it overlap a little bit. Now I did make the font in a yellow color so that it matched. So I could use my eyedropper feature here and go ahead and hover over any of the yellows I want. I want it to be, depends if I want to do super bright or whether or not I want to make it maybe a little bit more of a really light one. If I do it really light, I can put it on a dark shirt. But if I do it a little bit darker, it's going to look better on a white shirt. Now, these kinds of designs actually tend to look better on some of the lighter shirts. So it might be in my best interest to go ahead and pick maybe a little bit of a darker yellow, something that's going to stand out. So maybe here and here. And then what I can do would be to put like an outline if I wanted to. So I could go to effects, and this is what I did on the one I showed you. Now you don't have to do this by any stretch of the imagination, but this is kind of what I did. And then I picked a blue, some kind of a blue there. And I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing here. Select that blue. And so once I've got my outlines, I can make them pretty thin. So that's a 27. And so there, I mean, that'll pop there. I can put that now on a light shirt if I want to, and it's going to pop pretty well. Or if I was to take it and then put it on a dark shirt, you know, it's also going to pop pretty well. So it just kind of depends what you want. You could always do two versions too. So I've had people ask me, well, do you do a version for a light shirt and a version for a dark shirt? You totally could. So I could say I'm going to just go ahead and duplicate this. So if I hit this, I can duplicate it. And maybe I make a white version and a dark version. So on the dark shirt, maybe I do go ahead and just make this a nice light yellow. So maybe something like that, something like that. And if I wanted to, I could even lose the effect. Just depends if I lose it in the design. No, and so that's pretty easy there. And so I could do that for maybe a darker color shirt. I could even do like the white or white text if I wanted to. I don't even have to go with that, but you know, you can play around with the different colors and see what looks good. You could do it with the light blue. That's not going to work. I could go with the white. The white looks kind of cool. And so any of those could kind of work nicely on the dark shirt. So there's my light lemon. And then if I wanted to go ahead and go with the light shirt, let's say I just wanted to go with white colors now. Oops. Change this background color to white. Now this works pretty well there, but what I could also do would be to change the whole color maybe to the blue, right? So I could do easy peasy lemon squeezy like that. And again, effects, I could erase the outlines there and do it like that for a white shirt or a yellow shirt. So I've seen these done on those light yellow shirts too. I've actually seen a lot of those done where they put it on the really light color shirt on Amazon. And that's the only color they offer it on. And so it looks kind of like that. And so that one looks pretty cool too on the light shirt. So lots of different ways that you could go about doing this. And so there would be nothing stopping you from putting up a light shirt version and a dark shirt version. Keep in mind, if you do sell this on Amazon, if black is one of the colors you have selected, that will automatically be the default mockup. You don't get a choice. So if you have lots of colors selected and black is one of them, black will be your default. So if you did want to show it on a yellow shirt, yellow would pretty much be the one color that you would pick. You wouldn't pick any other colors, but yellow, that would ensure that it shows up on a yellow shirt, but then they don't have any options. But it would definitely pop in a sea of black shirts. It would definitely stand out. So there's different strategies that you could, try to use to see if they would work. Every so often, making something that stands out different from the rest is always, something that you could do. So anyways, that is how you do this type of design. I hope you guys found that useful. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section below. I try to get back to everybody as quickly as I can. I do read all the comments. Thank you so much for your kind words. It really means a lot to know that these videos are actually helping people. Again, if you're new to print on demand or trying to figure out how to get started, I just put out a brand new print on demand master course, beginner's guide, that kind of pretty much covers everything from the very start. I have it available as a paperback on Amazon. It's a 117-page book. I also have it available on Etsy, which I actually recommend more because it is a downloadable PDF and that has clickable links so that you can click the links to different things. And it comes with 4 videos that show you how to set up your Etsy shop from scratch. So it'll show you how to set up an Etsy shop, how to integrate it with print providers, how to make your first print products with each of those print providers, including the listings and the mock-ups. It shows you how to create your like shop logo and your shop banner. And so it really does cover everything for beginners in those videos. And so if you're interested, my ultimate beginner's guide, master course, a lot of good information in there. And I do try to keep it very affordable for people. So I think I've got it on sale for like around $20 just to make sure that anybody who wants it can actually afford it. So unlike some of those $1,000 courses out there. And I do have a link again under this video in the description section, and I'll go ahead and pin that in the comments as well. And because you guys were so patient and did wait until the end of the video, I do have another 5 bonus niches for you. And keeping with the lemon theme, I do have lemon themed niches. So without any more waiting, these are going to be your 5 lemon themed bonus niches. So number 1, lemon drop. And you can just keep it pretty simple. Lemon drop. You can do a picture of martini however you want. Number 2, a Sicilia, Italia. And so any of those Italy themed ones with the lemons are really cool. Number 3, a limoncello. And again, you can do Italian limoncello themed, like almost like a label style design. Number 4, a lemonade crew. And that can be for kids and their lemonade stand. And then number 5, lemonade stand security. That would be the parent version to go with that. And so I've seen all of these selling right now on Amazon. And so just again, fun summer lemon style designs, though you could sell these year round because who doesn't love lemonade year round? So anyways, I hope you guys are doing really well with your sales. I hope you're continuing to expand your portfolio and learn new things. And I do hope to see you guys again. That's it for today's video. If you found that useful and would like to see more videos with helpful tips and tricks, be sure to hit like and subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss any of the weekly videos. As always, keep growing and stay creative, and we'll see you next time.